Drink. This is a poison for the weak. Only the strongest will survive it.
Just when it seemed we were out of the woods with fall releases, along comes Far Cry 3, dropping players into a massive open world full of modern-day pirates, vicious wildlife, and tense storytelling. Is this the tropical getaway you need to avoid the winter blues, or is it just a bad trip?
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Jason Brody's world has just been ripped away from him. While partying in the South Pacific, he, his brothers, and his friends are kidnapped by human traffickers, itching to sell him to the highest bidder. A narrow escape lands Jason in the care of a local tribe who teach him how to fight back, hoping that his struggle to rescue his friends will help them flush out the pirates from their land.
But the definition of insanity.
At its core, Far Cry 3 asks, how far will you go to save your friends? And while you have little influence on Jason's path, it's fascinating to watch him go deeper down the hole. The killing, drugs, and dirty deals reshape his motivations, causing him to grow callous to those he loves. However, it's the performances of the other characters that steal the show. As despicable as villains like Buck and Vaz may be, they possess an inherent likability, and the mind games they play create an air of anxious tension.
Jason, come on. Pull the trigger. Come on, motherfucker. Pull the trigger! That is what they teach you in the army.
After a few tutorials, Far Cry 3's Island Sandbox opens up to tackle however you please. Like Assassin's Creed, you reveal sections of the map by climbing radio towers, and your successful attacks on enemy outposts determine whether an area is patrolled by pirates or friendlies. Clearing these hotspots unlocks all kinds of quests, including assassination jobs, hunting missions, races, and specific villager requests, like finding a couple's daughter or searching a plane wreckage for survivors. Arcade-like trials challenge you to rack up high scores with blue barrels to extend your time, some focusing on stealth takedowns, while others will have you running down pirates with a car. Plus, there are minor diversions like poker games and knife-throwing competitions. Your advancement is represented by mystical tattoos, and as you level up, you'll gain all manner of perks, like health upgrades and new combat options like knife throwing and chain takedowns. What skills you have available is determined by how far in the story you've progressed, and while they're split into 3 trees, your choices only matter a little, as you'll easily acquire all the tattoos before the next tier becomes available. The full map is absolutely massive, but the jungles, mountains, and beaches can start to feel samey after a while. However, the story missions do a good job of mixing it up, taking you to ships, eroded World War II bases, and buried Chinese ruins. The ever-present loot and collectibles are only as worthwhile as their value in cash or XP. However, hitting progression benchmarks does net you some great signature weapons. In all, a well-rounded journey through the campaign takes about 25 to 30 hours, still leaving plenty of tasks and territory to explore. In addition to the main story, Far Cry 3's 4-player co-op mode follows a separate group of characters through 6 linear missions. Pushing through each section is a matter of survival as waves of enemies flood in, and sometimes you'll have to protect vehicles or teammates carrying heavy explosives. Each mission breaks up these endurance rounds with a lighthearted competition as you rush to snipe enemies or ferry items on ATVs.
Hands off! This one's mine!
Competitive multiplayer also focuses on team play in 4 different modes, most offering different variations on capturing and defending territory. Scoring for your team earns you points toward killstreak-like support abilities, letting you scout enemy movements, spread poisonous gases, or call in devastating airstrikes. There are only 10 multiplayer maps, but robust creation tools give you loads of assets to work with, letting you insert roads, structures, animals, and enemies. Want a manta ray floating through a mountain field? You can do that. After passing a basic check, your map is then open for others to try, potentially landing on playlists chosen by the developers or the community.
Give it up!
Earning multiplayer experience gives you more guns to choose from, and each gun levels up with use, unlocking scopes and mods. But you can bypass some of the grind by decoding digital packages you earned after every match. Selecting one of these items starts a countdown, and once it's complete, you'll get a set of random rewards that may include high-level guns, mods, or just raw XP.
This is some magical shit.
Far Cry 3 gives you a huge toolkit of options to play with, but primarily rewards you for stealth. Intuitive meters above enemies' heads and sound effects indicate when you've wandered into the line of sight, and you can mark enemies to track their movements even while sneaking through cover. There's a lot of potential variety in your approach, and every enemy outpost is designed with different opportunities to exploit. Do you try to sneak behind and stab each enemy, take them out with a silenced weapon, or disable the alarm and bring out the C4 and flamethrower?
What happened to the...
To get across the miles of terrain, you can jump in cars, boats, or even hang gliders, and conquered outposts serve as fast travel points. Navigating to new territory can be a pain though, as the game only provides a distant waypoint rather than highlighting the winding roads needed to get to your destination, which can lead to either constantly referencing the map or accidentally driving off cliffs. Hunting and gathering are also a big part of the game. You increase your carrying capacity by crafting wallets, weapon holsters, and ammo pouches from the skins of specific animals. Meanwhile, plants are used to craft medicines whose effects range from basic healing to extending underwater dives. The ecosystem isn't